It is your destiny to be rich, and not just in a wealthy money kind of way, to be rich of love, to be rich of fulfillment, to be rich of community, to be fulfilled in the work that you're doing. I'm getting the energy of someone who has been called the jack of all trades, who has a lot of hobbies, a lot of interests. You're definitely someone who can see yourself going down a lot of different paths. And I feel like the energy that you're tapping into now is finally a decisive type of energy, a planning type of energy. Someone who's looking at the world. I'm seeing, if this message is for you, this message found you for a reason. You are someone who knows who you are. Deep down, you know who you are intuitively. And you're at this state, you're at this point in time of trying to figure out how to express that in the material realm, how to express that in human language, how to express that in the 3D world, how to express that with action. You know what I mean? You know the feeling that you want to have on this earth, in this life. And now you're trying to figure out the outlets that give you that feeling, the outlets that lead to this prosperity. And I also have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, I literally have 3 of the aces out here. First, it was the Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, this is a new beginning of some kind. You're stepping into a new beginning because of this decisive energy. And I feel like there was some kind of defeat that catapulted you into this energy, that catapulted you into saying, all right, no more victim mentality, no more poor me, no more boohoo. I'm taking advantage of my time, I'm taking advantage of my life, and I'm going to do what I want with it. So what is it that I want to do? And like I said, I feel like there is something hidden. There's some kind of veil here. I have the moon that came out. You're not supposed to see the whole picture right now. You're not supposed to see the exact path that you're meant to go down. You're just supposed to start walking. And that's when shit's going to start falling into place. You're not supposed to know exactly where you are. Like I said in that Jack of all trades thing, I feel like you can see yourself being a photographer, being a musician, being a content creator. You know, whatever path you choose to go down, you know you'll do well in it. But you're at this state right now of figuring out which one is the one that you want to do. And I'm getting the message to not box yourself in, to just start going. Because the worst thing that you can do is sit here with this analysis paralysis and not actually choose a version of yourself to become, to not actually start walking down the path. Because once you start walking down this path, then you'll realize, oh, there's 3 more paths that just opened up, and I would have never seen this fork in the road if I had not just started walking, if I was just sitting here in this contemplative energy. But I feel like you're finally starting to make decisions. You're finally starting to plan. And the universe wants to reward you for this. And it's because you're a giving person. You might have struggled with overgiving, or maybe you do struggle with overgiving. You're someone who really gives a lot of your time, a lot of your energy, a lot of empathy, and maybe sometimes all of your money to other people. You're really concerned about other people. And I feel like you're kind of trying to rid yourself of that people pleaser energy, and not in like a selfish kind of way, but in a I need to start choosing myself kind of way. And I feel like once you start choosing yourself, once you start really looking at what the universe has granted you in terms of passions, in terms of energetic talents, in terms of emotions, what things fill your cup, what things do you feel a distaste from, what things bring you a really fucking frustrating sense of injustice, and you start really looking into those, that's when the triumph is going to come. That's when this new sense of wealth is going to come. That's when you're going to step into this 9 of Pentacles energy, is when you start following yourself. Like I said, I feel like you intuitively know who you are, but it's really hard to express in this realm. It's really hard to express, especially in today's society where, you know, humans have kind of been confined to, you're supposed to climb the career ladder, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do education, you have to be in society. And I feel like you're someone who doesn't resonate with that part of life. And that's why things maybe have felt so hard, and like you've been struggling financially or in terms of love or whatever it is because your external isn't in alignment. And for you to get your external to be in alignment, you have to get your internal to be in alignment. So you have to start filling your cup. You have to start filling your cup. So whatever it is that you've been planning, whatever it is that you've been wanting to take decisive action on, or whatever, if you're in, I feel like you're in that state right now. You're in that state of, okay, I know I can do this. I know I can do this. I know I can do this. Which one am I going to do? It's a very decisive action. But I'm getting that this is your karma. The Nine of Pentacles here, prosperity, like a sense of fulfillment, a connection. This is your karma. And we also have the Queen of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, and the Four of Cups. You're healing your inner child. You're giving your inner child this motherly, this motherly energy. And it's because you're dropping that victim mentality. Like I said, you're starting to see what do I have around me that I can take advantage of, even if it's just my time, even if it's just my energy, even if I'm not changing anything externally right now. How can I change my energy to be more appreciative of the things that I have? You know, I'm getting the feeling of someone who like really doesn't enjoy their job right now, but then they start to enjoy it more and more and more, and they're no longer living paycheck to paycheck, and that completely changes their mentality around work. You know what I mean? But I really feel with this energy that there was some kind of death that happened, some kind of loss of a relationship that made you find a new sense of independence, maybe a loss of a job that like kind of felt like a weight off of your shoulders and has allowed you to look for more opportunities, but you were never going to look for those opportunities until this thing fell apart. This thing was destined, this death, this defeat was destined to happen in order to give you this fresh perspective. But like I said, I do feel like you're not supposed to see the full picture right now, and I get that that can be very frustrating. I get that that can be kind of hard to deal with. You know, you want to see where you're supposed to go. You want to have that defined action written out for you. But it's not going to be like that. That's not the life that you signed up for. You signed up for a life of trial and error, of experimentation, of exploring yourself, of figuring out who you are. And in that self-discovery, you discover so much prosperity, so many things that light you up, so many different avenues, so many different connections, so many different, networks. And that's what leads to this prosperity. I want to get a little bit more for you. I want to know more about this source. I want to know more about this creation, this decision making. We have 3 of the 4 aces here. Then we have the Page of Cups that popped out with the Page of Swords, back-to-back pages. I'm seeing someone that you're no longer using your mind as a weapon, as a defense mechanism. You're no longer using your intellect as something to protect you, but using it as a tool that can serve you. It's no longer defensive. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you're really starting to look inward and really starting to try to figure out and understand yourself. You're no longer applying that mental energy externally. Right now, you're taking that mental energy and really look like doing this. Right now, you're someone who's doing the shadow work. You're someone who's doing the journaling. You're someone who's doing these different things and saying, all right, that's not aligned with me anymore. That's not aligned with me anymore. Now what's gonna step in to fill that thing? And that's what I'm getting with this Page of Cups. It's something that fills you in an emotional and playful way. Yeah, and then we have the Devil here. I'm getting that there was some kind of dependency, and maybe it was in a relationship. Maybe it was... Talk to me more about this dependency source. To a lifestyle. You felt shackled by this victim mentality. I keep getting this victim mentality that's coming through, but you're breaking those shackles. You're stepping out of that, and you're stepping into a new identity that you're discovering about yourself. You're really discovering who you are right now, and that's what's leading to this prosperous timeline. That's what you're going to be celebrated. You are going to be celebrated. And it's because you discovered you. You found you. You're going to celebrate yourself with your inner child. these pages. I need to look more at these pages. I really feel like you're clearing your mental right now. This death that fell away has allowed you to really look inward and figure out, what is it that I want to do? What actionable steps can I take to lead me into the life that I want? And it's leaving so much mental baggage behind. It's leaving all of the mental baggage of your past. It's just taking the lessons, but it's leaving the emotions. It's leaving the distress. It's leaving the attachment, but it's taking all of the lessons and all of the knowledge and all of the wisdom with you. And that's going to allow you to, I feel like the universe wants to give you this thing because you're going to give back to the universe. You're going to give back to the people around you. You're not someone who wants this super luxurious life, super nice cars and Prada and Gucci, and not to discredit anybody who does want those things, but I feel like that's not your life. You just want that freedom that financial security gives you. You want to be able to use your time how you want. You want to be able to have enough money to not worry about food, to not worry about putting gas in your car, to not worry about these kind of things, to be able to fully focus on yourself and do the things that you want to do and not be limited financially. That's the type of freedom you want. And I feel like the universe wants to give you that because you're a giving person. And like I said, you might have struggled with people pleasing, or you might have struggled with over giving. So you're starting to give back to yourself. And the universe sees that, and the universe recognizes that. And the universe wants to give to you too. But you have to get clear on what it is that you want out of this life. And I get that can be very difficult. That's something that I resonate with, something that I struggle with. I feel like at my core, you at your core know who you are. But it's not something that you can even express. It's not something you can even think about intelligently. You just are so confident in you. Now you need to start figuring out, or you are figuring out, how does that express itself in this life, in this realm, on this earth? And I'm hearing, just go for it. Just do it. Like whatever that thing is, just go for it. And it's going to lead you down the right path. You're going to learn the lessons that you need to learn that lead you to the next step, and to the next step, and to that pivot point, and to this pivot point. But just choose that thing that lights you up the most. Choose the thing that seems like it is the next step. You know what I mean? I feel like with this moon, there is an illusion. There is some fog on the path ahead of you, but you can see your next step. It's not so foggy to where you can't see right in front of you. You can see right in front of you, so take that next step. And then you'll be able to see the next step, so take it. And then you'll be able to see the next step, so take it. But if you just sit there and say, oh, I can't even see where I'm going, I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to sit here and wait for the fog to clear. You can see the next step, so take it. And I'm getting a heavy throat chakra, like my throat feels really, I'm getting a throat chakra blockage. So that could be something you struggle with, maybe expressing yourself or communicating to other people like your feelings, or even just to yourself, like being honest with yourself about what it is that you want, and not feeling guilty about wanting those things. And as you work through those, as you do that shadow work, and as you use your intellect to work through that and to be more kind to yourself, that's what I'm getting with this page of swords energy, is being more kind with your mind, being more kind with your mental. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he's holding this just super gently, very like femininely, and it's very pretty in the background, clouds. He's standing on a nice grassy hill. His hair's flowing. He's kind of standing like in a dancing position. I feel like you are stepping into this more gentle, loving mental space with yourself. And that is dropping that lack mindset. That is dropping that victim mentality. It's no longer, why does this happen to me? This keeps happening to me. Like, oh, I'm never going to make it out of here. I feel like you see the light now. You see things with a lighter energy. Let me actually look at this page of cups in the little book. I'm interested about that. And there was one card left in the deck, and it's justice. with the Wheel of Fortune and the Justice, this is destined for you. This is your justice, was to go through this phase of figuring yourself out, was to go through all of the hardships that you had to go through in your life to give you the perspective that you have now. And we have the Six of Pentacles and Justice both have the scales, and they are balanced. They are balanced scales. This is the balancing of the scales, is you choosing yourself, is you dropping this victim mentality, is you dropping this lack mindset. Let me look at this Page of Cups. Studious intent aspect contemplates a fish rising from the cup, and look at him, fair young man, one impelled to render service, with whom the court will be connected. Studious youth, news, message, application, reflection, and meditation. Exactly. So I really resonate with that reflection and meditation side of things, but also there could be some kind of message, there could be some kind of news coming in. And I feel like that's a part of the illusion of this path, is that you're not supposed to see the all the way down the path, because if you just keep taking your steps, then things are going to cross your path. Things are going to come your way to where it's like, I'm going to take that opportunity. Oh, wow, this feels really aligned with me. You network with the right person. I'm also getting that with this Four of Cups energy. If you just sit here in this lack mindset, you're not going to be able to see the offers that are coming your way. You're not going to be able to see the opportunities that you have that you can take advantage of if you start seizing your energy, if you start seizing your passions, if you start seizing your heart. But if you keep following this path of this soul draining work, or this overgiving, or this slight unalignment, then you're not going to be able to see the things that the universe is trying to give you, that the universe is trying to set you up with. But I feel like that's exactly the energy that you're stepping into, is just planning decisive energy, saying, hey, I'm going to start choosing myself. I'm going to start taking the action that leads me to the person that I want to be. And this Page of Swords is just really drawing me in. I really feel like you're changing your mental around yourself. You're changing how you talk to yourself in your head. You're changing, affirmations that you tell yourself. It's not that I can't afford that. That's not aligned with me. You know what I mean? It's not that, why did this happen? It's, that's not aligned with me. Why don't they want me? Am I not good enough? No, that's not aligned with me. I need to be by myself right now. I need to have this independence. I need to have this vast valley that I can walk down, and I was restricted before, but no longer am I restricted, and I'm not going to allow myself to think like that. You are someone who is changing how you think, and it is changing you on an energetic level. It is changing you on a chemical DNA level that is leading you to, you're literally jumping into a timeline of your highest self, and it's because you're taking the steps. It's because you're taking the steps to learn yourself, to trust yourself, to follow yourself. And like I said, you're going to be freaking celebrated. You are going to be celebrated because of this. Maybe this is just with yourself, but... And how this horse is looking too. I feel like with this, I'm really getting that your path to celebration is one that you have a deep connection with. It's something that you are truly fulfilled by. You pour into this, and it pours back into you. You give this thing your time, your energy, your love, your dedication, and it fulfills you equally back. So if something came to mind there, it's that thing. If like, it's going to take some work, just like learning guitar does, but it pays off energetically back to you. So that's the message. Keep stepping into that light. Keep stepping into that love. Keep dropping that lack mindset. Keep dropping that negative self-talk. And that's what's leading you into this new timeline. So keep up whatever you're doing. That's the message. That's the message.